Once upon a time, in a distant kingdom, there lived a beautiful and kind-hearted girl named Cinderella. Her life was filled with love and happiness until the tragic loss of her mother turned her world upside down. Soon after, her father remarried a woman with a heart of stone. This wicked stepmother, along with her two selfish daughters, treated Cinderella with cruelty, forcing her to become a servant in her own home. While her stepsisters dressed in fine clothes and enjoyed a life of comfort, Cinderella toiled away, covered in soot and rags, yet she never lost her gentle spirit. One day, news swept through the kingdom. There would be a grand royal ball, hosted by the king himself, for the prince to choose a bride. Every maiden in the land was invited, and Cinderella's heart soared with the thought of attending. But her hopes were quickly dashed when her stepmother laughed cruelly and said, "You go to the ball? You have chores to do. Stay here and work while your sisters enjoy the evening." With that, her stepsisters left for the palace in extravagant gowns, leaving Cinderella behind in tears. Just when it seemed all hope was lost, a shimmering light appeared in the garden. It was Cinderella's fairy godmother, come to help her in her moment of despair. With a wave of her wand and a sprinkle of fairy dust, the fairy transformed a humble pumpkin into a grand carriage and the household mice into majestic horses. Then, with another flick of her wand, Cinderella's ragged dress became the most beautiful gown anyone had ever seen, and delicate glass slippers sparkled on her feet. But there was one condition. The magic would only last until midnight. "You must return before the clock strikes 12, the fairy godmother warned. With her heart full of excitement, Cinderella arrived at the ball where her beauty and grace captivated everyone. The prince, entranced by her, asked her to dance, and they spent the entire night together, lost in each other's company. But as the clock neared midnight, Cinderella suddenly remembered the fairy's warning. Without a word, she fled the palace, racing against time. In her haste, one of her glass slippers slipped off, but she dared not stop. By the time the clock struck 12, she was back in her tattered clothes, her magical night a memory. The next day, the prince was determined to find the mysterious girl who had stolen his heart. He searched the entire kingdom, bringing the glass slipper with him. Many girls tried it on, including Cinderella's stepsisters, but the shoe didn't fit any of them. At last, the prince arrived at Cinderella's house. Her stepmother tried to hide her away, but Cinderella appeared just in time. As she slipped her foot into the glass shoe, it fit perfectly. And in that moment, the prince knew he had found his true love. Overjoyed, the prince asked for Cinderella's hand in marriage, and she happily agreed. They were soon married in a grand celebration,